Hello and welcome back to our week ahead reading. My name is Shannon and I am so happy to have you here. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you are new, welcome here for the first time. So what I do is every week I tap in and I do a week ahead reading or check-in to prepare us for just kind of tapping into the energy of the week ahead. So this is a reading for the week of August 17th, and what I do every week is I pull some runes and I pull a card. And for the last few months, it's been an animal medicine card. We are really flowing with the beautiful medicine of the animals, supporting us for the last few months, and same with this week. And I will give you an overview of what the animal is coming through and sharing with us whatever medicine it has to share, and also what the runes are sharing with us. And my intention for these week ahead readings is simply to tap into the energy of the week ahead so that we can meet the week with as much just energetic preparation and groundedness as possible. These are not intended to be predictive readings at all. These are intended to be readings that just give us a little tap in, a little intuitive check into, okay, what is the energy that we're walking into this week? And if I'm aware of that energy, how can I best meet it? How can I best prepare for the energy of this week ahead? And just be aware that these might be themes that come up this week. Am I already feeling those? Or can I just notice if I feel them through the week? And some themes I might feel, some themes I might not feel. So this is just to give us a little tap in every week and see what's going on energetically and how can we meet it. So let's start talking about our energy for the week of August 17th, 2026. So we are in eclipse season right now, and we will have just had the eclipse on August 12th in Leo. That's a solar eclipse, so very illuminating, but also it's a south node eclipse because the south node just moved into Leo. And so that eclipse on August 12th could have started showing you some place where you're like, oh, I can't keep going this way anymore. Or starting deconstructing something that you have maybe been holding or believing, or even because Leo is this sign that can be about like our ego, and not necessarily ego in a bad way, just like who you are, how you show up in the world, your I, self, right? So that solar eclipse in Leo, because it's a south node, could have shown you someplace where like, I actually don't want to keep holding this piece of identity. You know, this is no longer me. This ego part is no longer me anymore, right? Like that could have been something that may have shown up for you with this solar eclipse that just happened last week. And now we are in our week that is between eclipses, because we have another eclipse coming next week, and it's an eclipse in Pisces. We'll get to that next week, but we're in between eclipses, and the week in between eclipses I think is always so interesting because it's this like it's almost an integration week, but we're still in between eclipses, so it's not fully integration because the energy is still a little too wild to really be saying, oh yeah, we're integrating something right now. But it's this week always between eclipses where we can go, oh, what did that first eclipse bring up? And I might be starting to see themes that are going to come up and really be illuminated or broken through with that second eclipse. So we're kind of in this like energetic, it's almost like an energetic birth canal is actually what's coming through to say, which is really interesting, because between eclipses we're kind of being squeezed. Like whatever it is that needs to come to light, or that we need to shake off, get rid of, or conversely, like accept and start really putting energy towards, is becoming so strong and so hard to ignore that we just have to start paying attention to it. And sometimes it's not even like a have to, it's like a force to start paying attention to it. And so it's this like space of transformation, but it's not comfortable. But at the end of the eclipses, as we come out of our eclipse, our second eclipse, then we can start truly integrating and birthing ourselves into something new. So there's the birth canal metaphor. So the only thing that I am going to presence astrology-wise this week is that we move into Virgo season at the end of the week. So we are almost done with Leo season. This is our last week of Leo season. And then we move into Virgo season, and the energy always starts to shift when we hit Virgo season, right? It's technically still summer, but there is something about Virgo season that starts to feel like autumn, and like we're preparing for it, right? So that's our big thing this week, is that we are meeting a new month, meeting a new sun month, at the end of the week. And so for this week of August 17th, for this last week of Leo season, or the last few days of Leo season, it could be helpful to take a little time to think about, to contemplate, what has Leo season this year taught me, right? What has Leo season this year asked me to take a look at and see? What did that Leo eclipse really bring forward for me? This is a good week to take some time to make sense of what the Leo eclipse brought forward for you last week before we hit our Pisces eclipse next week. Now, let's get into our energy for this week ahead. So our animal, let's start with our animal, is wild boar. And wild boar is a card of confrontation. And I think this is super interesting, because a South Node eclipse in Leo, that could have been a very confronting eclipse. Like, you gotta confront something here that is not serving you, or a way that you are showing up because of the Leo being that like sun ego. You might have needed to confront something with that eclipse, or it brought something up where it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been doing that, right? Or I can't believe I'm still holding on to this identity from 10 years ago. That's not actually me anymore. Like, why am I still holding on to this? Or I need to confront a way that my ego has been running the show, or I need to confront a way that I've been hiding. And a Leo eclipse is saying you can't keep hiding anymore, right? There's a lot of ways you could have had a confrontation start coming up with that eclipse. And wild boar coming out for this week is saying that in this week between eclipses, the confrontation is continuing. So don't try and hide from it. The confrontation gets worse when we try to avoid it, when we try to hide from it, right? A lot of us don't like confrontation. I think it's probably one of the most common things I hear from people is, I don't like confrontation. I don't want to argue. I don't want to have to confront anything. It doesn't feel good, right? And it may be conversely, there may be a lot of people who feel the opposite. Maybe it's just my sample size, right? There may be a lot of people who are like, I love confrontation. I want to say the things, right? Both are ends of two ends, two extremes, right? And neither are actually helpful. We can't like be this crazy confrontational, like I need to be confrontational about everything kind of person. That's not going to serve us. But also saying I don't want to confront something, that just keeps us stuck as well. And so wild boar is coming in, and it's asking us this week to balance. Like, if you are overly confrontational, then wild boar might be coming in this week and be like, you can take chill pill. You don't have to confront everything. Pick your battles. But if you are avoidant of confronting things, whether it's with other people or with yourself or both, then wild boar this week is coming in and saying, confronting things can be scary, yeah, but you are being asked to claim your courage and to start confronting whatever it is that you're trying to avoid. So let me read you some of this, because I think this is a really beautiful card, really, really beautiful animal medicine. So, wild boar. Wild boar teaches us that we need to first face and conquer the self-important and deceitful beast within, in order to really understand, to be able to anchor in to our own truth, right? So first and foremost, wild boar is saying confront the wild boar within. Confront the, self-important and deceitful beast within, right? Have you not done that yet? Or is there a part of that you're too scared to confront? This week is saying this is a week to do it. You can always, of course, choose to avoid. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, but the longer we avoid, starting with the within part, the longer we avoid confronting the painful parts within, the deceitful, the self-important, like the ego parts within that aren't serving us, right? I'm not telling you to get rid of your ego. I'm telling you to, none of this is telling you to get rid of your ego. This is saying, can you confront the parts of your ego, the parts within that are not helpful, right? The longer we avoid that, the longer it's just going to hang on, and eventually we're going to have to avoid it, or we're always going to be running away from part of ourselves, right? So, um, so first, Wild Boar is saying confront within. Wild Boar teaches us to confront fears, to confront the challenges at hand, to confront uncomfortable circumstances. So this could be confront something in yourself. It could be confront something that, like a challenge, something happening in your life that you really don't want to have to confront, but you know what? It's going to be a lot better if you do. Stop avoiding it, right? Wild Boar is really asking you to confront something this week. Courageously standing tall without running from the situation that life presents is powerful medicine indeed. Wild Boar is asking you to confront anything or anybody you've been avoiding, to embrace your warrior nature and find the courage to confront your fears. It could also be asking you to confront a personal weakness, a career challenge, to finish a project you abandoned thinking it might be too difficult to accomplish, so you didn't want to confront the difficulty of it, right? Wild Boar could be asking you to confront your feelings regarding a situation that makes you nervous or causes discomfort. Or where you need closure on something and you need to confront it to get that closure. If you've been procrastinating, Wild Boar is reminding you to quit avoiding the inevitable. And it's Wild Boar is insisting you be fully present and mindful of what is happening and why this is not a week to check out. This is a week to be fully present. Honestly, most of 2026, none of these weeks have been weeks to check out, but we're in the middle of eclipse season, second eclipse season of the year. The week between eclipses, not a week to check out. And it might be, because this is coming up, it might be really tempting this week to check out, but this is not a week to check out. You already possess the courage needed to confront all that life offers. You just need to remember where you hid that courage. Challenges do not simply vanish. Unless you actively embrace your issues, you cannot reclaim your spirit's energy. Half the battle is won through the warrior's willingness to acknowledge and to accept the whole truth at all times. So there is confront what you have been avoiding here. There is reclaim your courage. Find where you hid it. Find where that Leo eclipse just illuminated the courage that you have been leaving to the side and not wanting to pick up. Maybe it's asking you to confront where you've been hiding behind cowardice in some level, right? I almost hesitated to say that word because it's such a strong word, but I think I felt the urge, I felt the nudge, say this. This is important. Maybe you need to confront where you've been a coward. That's a hard thing to confront. That's the risk of saying the same word over and over again. That's really confronting to look at, right? So maybe that's what you need to do this week. Maybe this week you need to just acknowledge and accept, like it says here, acknowledge and accept the whole truth. Acknowledge and accept where you haven't been confronting, where you haven't been claiming your courage and standing up and just doing the thing that you need to do. Talking to the person you need to talk to. Looking at that thing in yourself that you hate having to look at, but it's always underneath. And you know what? I can tell you this from personal experience because I have done this a lot. It's been a lot of my own training and the path to get to where I am in the work that I do. You can't go into a shamanic path without being willing to look at those deep, dark, nasty, cowardly places within yourself. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get very far. And that's something that I've learned more and more and more every year that I deepen on this path. But when I have taken the time and confronted the really painful, difficult things within and looked at the things that I had hid so deeply away because I was so ashamed of them or scared of them or whatever it might be, actually finally confronting what I had hidden within myself, that's opened my whole life up. It's opened my whole life. So if this is an internal thing for you, something that you need to confront in yourself, do it. It might be hard. It might be tough. It might suck. You might need support. You might need to reach out to somebody for support. You might need to reach out to a therapist or a healer or a mentor, or you can reach out to me if you want to inquire about sessions or mentorship or anything like that. If you are interested in support and looking and confronting those inner things with a shamanic perspective. But whatever way if yours is an internal confrontation, if that's what you know you need to do it. Stop delaying it, because it will set you free. And if it's an external thing you need to confront, I also can speak from experience here and tell you that if you confront what's going on externally and you finally look at it and you talk to it and you stand up for yourself, or whatever it might be, it is also going to set you free. Maybe you need to do both. It's like there's this element here of like, set yourself free by confronting what you're scared to confront. So that's big medicine this week. That's big medicine for eclipse season. But it's important. It wouldn't be coming up if we didn't need to hear that message. So that's our animal message. Let me show you our runes. The first one, Gibo, promise, commitment. There is something this week, maybe something you commit to, maybe someone you make a promise to, maybe it's yourself, maybe it's something work-wise, maybe it's in a friendship, maybe it's whatever. There's so many ways, so many possibilities this could come up with. But this is a week of commitment. There is some, maybe it's even just committing to confronting whatever needs your eyes on it this week. But there is an element of commitment and promise this week. This also could be, maybe you committed to something a while ago and you finally, see something coming out of that this week as well. So commitments could be coming back around, or you could be making new commitments or promises. We then have Hagalas again. This came out last week. So we are still in the energy of bridging from one reality to a next. That makes sense. We're still in eclipse season. So we are bridging from one reality to a next. A storm is here. If it's not coming, then it's already here, right? It's probably already here, because this rune can mean a storm is coming or a storm is here, because it came out last week. I would say it's probably saying a storm, a shakeup, a bridging from one reality to a next is already here. So we're still in that energy. Confront it. Don't be scared. Like, you can be scared of it, but can you confront it too? Can you pull up your courage and confront it even if you're scared of it? That's big medicine. That's powerful. That is healing, even to yourself, to your soul, to you. So can you confront it? Can you stand up and face whatever is changing head on? And then we have Ansus. This is a rune of intuition and knowledge and wisdom. So this is a rune that's saying, listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, get quiet. Also, you may need to seek out knowledge about something. Maybe there's something you don't know and you actually need some more knowledge before you make a decision. So this could be saying this week you need to seek out knowledge, wisdom from someone or something that you don't already hold. And also it can be a reminder that so it could be you need to go seek out wisdom or knowledge from something or someone, or it could be a reminder like you already have so much within yourself. Maybe you don't need anything external, or you don't need much external. You really need to be listening internally. And maybe if you need anything externally, it's just the support or the guidance or the space for someone to help you reconnect in and remember how to connect to your own wisdom. So it's a couple different ways that one could show up depending on what's showing up for you this week. And I need a drink for a moment. A lot of talking, a lot of energy here. So that's our energy for the week of August 17th. Confront what you've been avoiding. Maybe you're committing to something this week. If you commit to something, this is like also Giba was like binding promise commitment. So if you make a promise or a commitment this week, make it in like full sobriety, like full open eye, like I know what I'm making a commitment here to, because this is big medicine. This is a big promise, big commitment. We are still bridging from one reality to our next. You might be in a little bit of a personal storm. That's okay. Can you confront it? Can you call in your courage, and can you be with it? Can you just be present to what's happening? Don't hide away from it, and get knowledge you need from externally if you need it, and or both. Take some time to reconnect to the wisdom within. And that could also be take some time to reconnect to your courage within, so you can confront what's happening this week. Powerful between eclipses week. Again, not a week to sleep on, not a week to check out. This is a week to be fully present. You can't confront things without being fully present, right? So be present this week. Don't check out. And I think that's that. That's our energy. That's our reading for our week ahead, for the week of August 17th, 2026. Thank you as always for joining me. If you enjoy these week ahead readings, I'd so appreciate if you would subscribe and follow along on Substack. And if you are looking for some self-guided support during these times, my course, The Elemental Embodiment Journey, which I've just re-released, is available. It's a one-time purchase. It's only $27 right now. It is 7 modules, and it brings you through a process of reconnecting to your body via shamanic journeys and transmissions with the elements. And so the four main elements: earth, air, water, fire. There's not a separate elemental journey for spirit, because spirit is within all 4 of those elements, and then bringing you into embodying all 4 of those elements together, which of course again includes spirit, because spirit is within everything, by embodying the storm. And that's a really, really beautiful, fun, powerful, enlivening journey and transmission at the end of the course. So if you are interested in a self-guided practice, you can go ahead and sign up for that. And if you're interested in perhaps diving deeper into building relationship with your body, make sure you join the waitlist for Love Your Lips, which is a 4-week program where I teach you how to come back into connection with your pelvis. All the links for that will be in the show notes. Thank you as always for being here, and I will see you next week for our next week ahead reading.